In the last video, we talked about the VPS and why it is a compelling option for hosting your web applications. I mentioned a tool called Coolify that makes managing a VPS significantly easier. In this video, we are going to dive deeper into what Coolify actually is, what it does, and why I think it's one of the best tools available for developers and small teams who want the power of a VPS without the complexity of managing one from scratch. So, what is Coolify? Coolify is a free, open source, self-hostable platform as a service, or a PaaS, or PaaS. Think of it as your own personal Heroku or Render, but running on your own server. This means you own your infrastructure, your data, and your cost. The best way to understand Coolify is to compare it to the alternatives. Platforms like Heroku, Render, and Railway are fully managed PaaS solutions. They abstract away all the server complexity. You push your code and it runs. The trade-off is cost and control. As your app scales, the bills grow quickly and you have limited control over the underlying infrastructure. Coolify gives you the same developer experience. Push your code and it deploys, but on a VPS that you control. You get the simplicity of a managed platform with economics and control of a VPS. What does Coolify do? Coolify handles all the hard parts of running applications on a VPS. Git integration. Connect your GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket repository, and Coolify will automatically deploy your app every time you push to your main branch. No manual deployments, no SSH commands. Just push your code and it's live. Dockerized deployments. Every application Coolify deploys runs in a Docker container. This means your apps are isolated, portable, and consistent across environments. You do not need to know Docker deeply to use Coolify. It handles the containerization for you. Automatic HTTPS. Coolify integrates with Let's Encrypt to automatically provision and renew SSL certificates for all your applications. Every app gets HTTPS out of the box with zero configuration on your part. Built-in reverse proxy. Coolify uses Traefik as its built-in reverse proxy and web server. It automatically routes traffic to the right application based on the domain name. You can run multiple applications on the same VPS, and Coolify handles the routing between them. Database management. Coolify can deploy and manage databases alongside your applications. PostgreSQL, MySQL, MongoDB, Redis, and more. You can spin up a database with a few clicks and connect it to your application without any manual configuration. Environment variables. Manage your environment variables securely through the Coolify dashboard. No manually editing .env files on the server. Monitoring and logs. Coolify provides basic monitoring and real-time log streaming for all your applications directly from the dashboard. You can see what your app is doing without SSHing into the server. Backups. Coolify supports automated database backups to S3 compatible storage. Your data is protected without any manual backup scripts. Why would you use Coolify? There are several scenarios where Coolify makes a lot of sense. You want the economics of a VPS without the complexity. A $6 to $10 per month VPS with Coolify can run multiple applications that would cost hundreds of dollars per month on Heroku, Render, or Railway. For a startup or indie developer, this is a significant saving. You want full control over your infrastructure. With Coolify, you own everything. Your data stays on your server. You choose your hosting provider. You are not locked into any platform's pricing or terms of service. You want a great developer experience. Coolify's dashboard is clean and intuitive. Deploying an application is genuinely just a few clicks. It does not feel like managing a server. It feels like using a modern PaaS. You are running multiple projects. One VPS with Coolify can host multiple applications, multiple databases, and multiple domains. Instead of paying for separate hosting for each, you consolidate everything onto one server. Having said that, what are the limitations? Coolify is not perfect for every situation. Here are some things to be aware of. You are responsible for your server. If your VPS goes down, your apps go down. With managed platforms, the provider handles uptime. Some configuration is still required, especially for custom setups, firewalls, and advanced networking. It is self-hosted, meaning you need to keep Coolify itself updated and maintained. Not ideal for very large scale, for enterprise applications with massive traffic. You may need dedicated infrastructure beyond a single VPS. How do we get started with Coolify? Getting Coolify up and running is surprisingly straightforward. In an upcoming video, I will walk you through the complete setup from provisioning a VPS to having Coolify installed and your first application deployed. All you need to get started is a VPS with at least 2 gigs of RAM and 2 CPU cores, a domain name, and 30 minutes of your time. So what's the takeaway? Coolify bridges the gap between the simplicity of managed platforms and the power and economics of a VPS. For developers and small teams who want to own their infrastructure without being overwhelmed by server management, it is genuinely one of the best tools available right now. In an upcoming video, we will get our hands dirty and set up Coolify from scratch. So, see you there.